Crop Talk on Market Journal is supported by Nebraska's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Finally today, agriculture can be both rewarding and extremely stressful, often, as you know, at the exact same time. Stressors like weather, livestock, commodity prices, they can tend to stack up on top of each other. Many producers tend to push through those adversities and not giving themselves any slack or grace. While it's important to have extra drive to push through difficult times, it's equally as important to recognize the balance between being tough and knowing when to take care of ourselves. After all, it is incredibly challenging to care for our farms, ranches, and families if we don't take care of ourselves first. Our next guest was on hand at this year's Women in Ag event to discuss the importance of producers building on their own mental health toolbox. Here's our conversation with M-Well Consulting founder, Ashley Machado. 30,000 foot perspective, why is it important to address mental health in the ag industry?
Well, I think of our industry and what we provide to the people. Like, we are feeding the world, essentially, especially the U.S. agriculture industry. And for us to be able to continue to do that at the scale that we're doing it and being innovative, it's so important to take care of ourselves. And especially in agriculture, there's a lot of generational farm transitioning and working together with family, and that can essentially become extremely overwhelming, dealing with different people's personalities, how they communicate, all these different things. And when we're not taking care of ourselves, when we try to approach those conversations, we try to go to work, we try to do all these things, it can become very overwhelming to do our job. And our job is very important. We're feeding people, and everybody needs food always and forever. Like, we're always going to need to eat. So to be able to do that, we have to take care of ourselves.
So you introduced this mental health toolkit to people at the conference. What is that?
Yeah, so our mental health toolkit, like I like to say, like we have a toolbox. Like, every farmer or rancher, someone in ag, like, there's a toolkit somewhere. It's got shovels, wrenches, the hammers, like anything, a screwdriver, like anything, a tractor, like we use all of these tools every day to make our ranch or farm run effectively. Now, what about the people who are running the ranch or farm? Let's have a mental health toolbox, a bunch of tools that you can access really easily that are free. We love free as a farmer or rancher. And that it's like, okay, I'm feeling stressed. Let me do this breathing exercise. It's going to lower my anxiety by 60% right now if I do this. Oh, I'm feeling overwhelmed with a lot that's going on. Let me answer these couple questions and write them down, the answers down, and it's going to help work through that overwhelm. I'm going to help be able to process things more. Like, just a bunch of tools that just help us be better humans, more effective in the workplace, better conversations, healthier, lower cholesterol, like all of these things that are going to help our well-being, and they're at the palm of our hands.
You bring up a great point that when your mental health is good, it can also influence your physical health. Mental health is physical health. Can you talk a little bit about that aspect?
Yeah. I think for a long time, it's getting better now, we've thought of our brain as separate from our body. But really, taking care of our brain health is essential for taking care of our mental health, which is essential for taking care of our well-being. Like stress. You have stress, you probably have a high blood pressure, higher cholesterol. If you work on your stress, maybe you exercise or you breathe through things or you pause, your cholesterol is probably lower, you probably are a little stronger, all of these different things that, if you're going to be in ag, you have to be doing them. In ag, it's not like you retire typically when you're 55. Right? If you are a farmer or a rancher, you may be working as maybe an older generation, but you're going to be on the farm or consulting on the farm for a long term, driving a tractor, sitting for that long period of time, that it's really important to work on your physical and mental health to be able to do that long term.
So you think about, or at least I think about, these hard-headed farmers and ranchers across the state of Nebraska, men and women. What's your ultimate message to them to bring this idea home?
Yeah, I just would say, like, I wouldn't even want to say like someone is even like hard-headed. Just like maybe these tools haven't been introduced to you ever, or in a way that feels comfortable, and change and growth feel uncomfortable because they're new. And because they're new, they feel hard, and that's what makes it uncomfortable, and that's okay. And we all, I mean, I think in agriculture, the depression rate right now is around 32%, and that's just who has reported it. I know so many farmers and ranchers who haven't reported it, so they're not even included in that. We're one of the leaders in suicide rates by industry. And so I would just say you're not alone. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling stressed, and you think this isn't a big deal, or I'm the only one, I can't talk about this, no one else knows, just know like you're not the only one experiencing anything like this. And these tools can really help to better your relationships with your family members, and yourself.
I'll leave you with this. If folks are maybe experiencing some of those feelings that you're talking about, those thoughts, what's the first step they need to take?
I would say the first step that they need to take is just give themselves grace. First and foremost, just take a deep breath and say, like, I'm allowed to feel these feelings. It's okay that I'm feeling this way. Let me first talk to my loved one, and we can work through this together, and I can reach out to a therapist or a friend. Psychology Today is a great resource. There's a bunch of phone numbers that people can call, and some websites that people can look to find therapists or people to talk to. But before that, just recognizing like, it's okay that I feel this way, and it's not normal.